And we're recording. Great.
Recording in progress. What's up, everybody? Connect another episode with the man. Jay is a very special guest of us. Adam loves Jay. I'm a big fan of Jay myself. I love your videos and all. Thank you so much for your time, Jay.
Thank you guys very much for having me here. It's good to be in a room with such a caliber. So I appreciate your time, gentlemen.
For sure.
Jay is obviously in my brokerage, and I've known Jay, well, probably since 2018 or 2019. And Jay's really spent and done a lot of time with social media marketing, Instagram videos, and really high quality content, which I think is kind of lacking. And it's a really analytical, it's fun, like him and his business partner Ben, they have a good rapport, which I think is really kind of sets them apart from most people. And so they mix fun with entertainment. And if you ever get a chance to go on their YouTube, go on their Instagram, Jay McInnes, it's good entertainment, good fun. And so we'd love to have Jay on here because I think he does it extremely well.
The first time I watched one of their episodes, I'll be honest, I was like, what the fuck? Like the jokes and their humor but then you start liking them because they're bringing a lot of value and they make it fun their own way. So I really appreciate that style, Jay.
I thank you very much for that bold, very positive intro from both of you. I appreciate that because that's what we're trying to do. Just kind of put a layer of us into everything, and everyone can deliver the same generic kind of info, which a lot do, and that's fine. But I think adding a layer of personality makes a big difference.
Yeah, 100%. Jay, we are curious to learn about your first year in real estate. How was it like? Why did you start? How was that first year?
The first year was very interesting, as I'm sure most people can say. I started in the business. My dad built houses, so I was always close to real estate. So eventually through a long kind of snake path, got into it from this side. And I first started, I did a year of pre-sale work with one of the pre-sale companies while I was getting licensed. So I was kind of in the ecosystem while getting licensed. And then I started full-time resale in March 2008. And then of course I just paid off all my debt. So I was at flat broke, and then quit my salary and jumped into this thing. And it was interesting because all the older agents, obviously 2008, was taking place, and they said, this is the worst time to get in, don't do it, you made a mistake, blah, 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 you should have been here years ago. And so that was very motivating, as you can imagine. And then it was hard. I think took an interesting path. The first deal I did was with a colleague from my last career, which was, I don't know if you call it a career, it was selling, of course it was, selling cell phones at a TELUS store. So I got a guy and he wanted to buy his first place, and luckily he chose to use me. And through that, I met his mortgage broker who was an RBC broker, and then built a rapport with them. And that really helped me kind of move along in my first year, and meeting people through that way and through the bank and getting clients that way. So it was scary and daunting, but you just got to grab whatever you can and run with it, and hopefully it leads to something and learn along the way, and you're good to go.
So obviously that was a very long time ago that you were in your first year of real estate. Now, obviously you've refined, honed your systems, got experience under your belt. So, if you were to teach a course, let's say at the real estate board, and they said, Jay, we like what you do, what would be kind of the thing that you would teach realtors that is your specialty, do you think?
Oh, God. I think really putting yourself out there is the main thing. And that can be on different levels, but I know a lot of people get in their own heads and a lot of people are scared, scared to be told no, scared that someone's going to comment negatively. But I think that's the biggest thing. And you can use putting yourself out there a variety of different ways, obviously, but I think getting in that headspace is the most important thing. As you discussed earlier, we do a lot of video work that exposes us to a lot of people online that don't always comment positively. So you really need to get in the mindset of getting yourself out there and going down every tangent that we kind of have on offer to try and get business are all of value, I think. Putting a camera in front of your face, knocking on a door, an open house, trying new things. These are all kind of, that's, I believe, the fundamental thing. You can't be kind of that scared realtor or that secret agent, as they used to say in the course.
Yeah, no more secret agents. Yeah. So Jay, tell us a little bit more about your strategy on social media, because we both understand that you utilize that in a great way. How has that been supporting your business, mainly bringing new clients to your pipeline? And how are you going to expand that?
It's supported the business because in a big way, because it's a channel that we are found by new people, and it's a channel that all past clients watch. So it's a very good avenue for me to get out there and kind of distribute content and have old and new see it. A lot of my clients now are referral from past, and those people that are referring me are watching these videos. So they'll send, oh, I like this, I like that, I didn't like this, I didn't like that. Content or information said. So I'm kind of getting that reinforcement from past clients. When they're referring my name, they're sending the video links or whatever to friends, family, or whatever for them to, again, pre-qualify. So we do a video a week. Every Wednesday, we've got a professional guy that comes in, films. We chop that video up so it turns into 4 videos. So we've got distribution on basically a video a day for 4 days a week, going out, the full format, and then the chopped versions, the Coles notes, and then fill the rest of the week however we do with content. So just to keep that constant thing, I think that's another big thing. As you guys know, consistency is everything. So that's how we do it. And I think in the continue do it or strengthen on that, there just needs to be more. Yeah. I'm going to structure more. I don't know yet. But again, typically how it works out is we've got those 4 videos a week, every week, that go out, blended in with stuff we're seeing out on the ground and stuff like that, and just listed and just sold videos and stuff like that. We can pretty commonly fill the week with content. And that's what you need to do. If, in my belief, if you're doing that, it's got to be consistent. If you're doing whatever of those platforms, if you're door knocking, it's got to be consistent, the same thing. So consistency is key, and it's easy to get off track, obviously, but I think by getting a third party guy to film us, it's kind of given me that, what's the word?
Accountability.
Yeah, he's here every Wednesday. So I can obviously phone and cancel this week, but now he's involved and I feel bad canceling on him. So it's kind of that loop is set up. So it's good.
And
Jay,
sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, we'll cut this out, but just watch the table. I do this too at Oakland, and it rocks the camera. So you're kind of in an earthquake right now when you're banging on the table. So just for video's sake.
Okay. All good.
Thank you, Mr. Director. I love what you said about referrals watching your videos. Like, one thing about videos I always tell my associates is that it's not only about getting new leads, it's about helping your clients send you referrals. Because when your client wants to introduce you to someone, they're like, oh, I know this great agent, look at this YouTube video, and you make it easier for them to send you business, just like you said.
Yeah, and I think that's these days, there's a slight, I think in efforts to try and stay ahead, because there's whatever 15,000 of us, you want to make it as easy as possible for A, people to see you, but B, people to refer. And you can assume someone like the good old days will just pass your business card. But it's a lot easier to say, Google this name in YouTube, and you'll have X amount of options to really see what the personality is. And I think another big thing with that is when we do our listing presentations, like all our marketing stuff that I tell my sellers is the goal of all this is to get the buyer as pre-qualified as possible before they walk through the front door. So once they walk in, there's no surprises. They're not going to walk in and say, I don't like where the kitchen is to the living room, let's go. It's the final step. So the same thing with all this video content. If I'm getting referred, they know my personality very well by the time they've watched 1 or 2 videos. They're going to say, I hate this guy, or yeah, this guy's workable. Let's move forward. So it's just the more the better in every level of pre-qualification.
It saves a lot of time. Jay, before we move to the next question by Adam, I am curious to know which platform has worked the best for you. Is it Instagram, Facebook, YouTube? Like, which one are you banking on?
So the bulk of the content will go out on YouTube. That is where we probably get the most exposure per se. I get the most direct actual comments and questions through Instagram. All the same videos go out on both. I need to work on, that's another 2023 thing, a lot more focus on Facebook, because I think there's a bigger demographic there that is what I'm after than Instagram and YouTube. But that's the bulk. I mean, we've got it on all of them, but the bulk of the action is on YouTube and Instagram.
Got it. Okay, thank you.
Jay, do you get into the analytics at all? Like, do you have somebody that kind of helps you? Because it changes all the time, and every platform has a different set of things that you want to look for and insights. Do you have somebody that helps you understand what videos are maybe getting more traction and what videos maybe you pull back on? Or is it just kind of by feel and by what clients tell you and what referrals tell you? How do you gauge success of a video or of content?
I'm very bad. I'm not going to give an answer that you're going to want to hear here. I look at the analytics. I don't have third parties looking at anything or doing that. I look at it myself, but I don't. The worst performing videos we've had are the videos that are actual direct educational. So like, this is what rain screening is, and this is why you need it. Those videos got a lot more traction 10 years ago than they do now. Maybe because there's such an abundance of information out there now, I'm guessing. But the kind of the monthlies or there's been a recent government change that's going to affect everything. Videos will typically get more traction. On the video side, now that I say that, however, a lot of the information videos. So I put everything out on podcast as well. Through podcasts, they get a lot more traction, but less in video. But no, I don't believe, this is going to sound stupid. I don't believe in relying on the analytics, because I think it's too random. I think you can mail a building for 12 months, and then on the 13th month, someone says, I got your flyer 8 months ago, and that's why I called. So there's never, I've personally, and if you have, I'd love to know your insights, but I've done a lot of marketing from all the social platforms, billboards to mail and everything, and there's never any consistency. So I feel that you just need to put out as much as you can for as long as you can, and then when it comes, it comes. But I've never been able to say like, okay, I can hammer down on this and build an accurate assumption of what's going to happen. And maybe that's because I haven't dove into the analytics enough.
No, I'm absolutely the same. Like I look at the insights or analytics on my YouTube or Instagram, but it's mostly discouraging. So I stopped looking at them. I feel like it really depends on the weather, what's happening in the world, people's like mood at that day. Like it really doesn't give you a good direction. I try to like get inspiration and like get my like make my content better, but like looking at insights, usually there was a time that I was looking on people who unfollow me, not only follow me, unfollow me, and that was depressing. I saw some unfollow me. I'm like, what the fuck, man? Like, why are you unfollowing me? To the point that you realize it really doesn't matter. Some people like you, some people don't, and you just have to like keep doing what you're doing. Yeah.
Yeah, you're not going to get everyone, and the faster you can come to terms with that and don't let it break your spirit like it used to when you started, then the better off you'll be.
Exactly. Yeah. So I think Adam, can you go move forward with this?
Yeah, so Jay, maybe to kind of pivot a little bit, we are also interested in like what realtors' schedules and habits are. You've got a busy life. You have 3 kids, wife, obviously a career and a team that you're trying to manage. So in terms of like a powerful habit or something that you do that is routine for you, that you feel is making you successful, do you have any insight on that? And do you do something that or is it something that stands out to you in that?
I think you need to, well, for me, I need to make sure all the things that I think are important are done in the day on all levels, work and not, so I'm not thinking and regretting them. A big thing as I've gotten kind of older is looking back, and we kind of had a touch on this yesterday when we spoke, Adam, is like looking back, if it's over a year or a day, do I regret anything, and try and build each day forward without having being able to say you've got any regrets. And that's from like, I wake up at 6 every day and I go to the gym first thing. But I used to do it at the end of the day, but now with kids, if I'm doing it at the end of the day, then I'm pulling time away from them while they're still awake. So now I do it before the whole family wakes up. So that's out of the way. So I'm not picking me or the kids for time. So now I don't regret the fact that I didn't go to the gym today, or it's an easy thing to pass off at the end of the day. It's already done. Making sure with work, all the stuff that is our money-making activities are front of line. And that may seem obvious, but it's where any different client is at. They need to be followed up with, because at the end of the day, I think, especially when starting, you get very sidetracked with the function of being a realtor, but then the realities of like, how the hell do I make money, can sometimes fall behind. And a lot of the time that's these clients X, Y, and Z need these levels of service now. And so that's kind of front loaded in my day. Always, if someone needs to be gotten back to, if there's schedules to be made, obviously offers and all their priority sequence. But basically the money-making activities always come first, second to the structured marketing, which is a lot of the day as well. Putting out content, putting out details on listings, and then obviously the booking of appointments, but all the like booking of appointments, getting back to real people and all that sort of stuff will be front loaded in my day. So it's done. Because like, I'm sure you guys as well, I'm sitting in front of the goddamn laptop at 10 p.m. still, pissing around with other stuff anyway. So at least at that point in the day, it may be some marketing stuff that can afford to go out at whatever time. And it's not, again, those money-making activities. So get my stuff, the gym stuff out of the day first. That's kind of me covered. The work priority in the day. And then I've got to spend time with the kids at night, because they just grow too fast, and soon enough, they're not going to want to talk to me. So make sure all those things are kind of done is the rough kind of sequence in a day. With the team, again, it's staying in touch with them. If they're not in the office that day, where are you at? What are you working on? What can I help with? Any of this sort of stuff. Just staying in touch with the humans first, always, and then all of the kind of digital after.
That's good advice.
I like that. I like that. And Jay, if we can have you briefly talk about the market predictions of the next year. I think we all agree the number of transactions are lower than last year. And if you could tell us what would be one focus or strategy for you and your team to win 2023, what would that be?
Stay in touch with everyone. Past clients as far back. I remember when I moved to this brokerage, I had never followed up with past clients before. So I had like 10 years of clients that it was like transaction done, send them obviously their whatever gift I got them, send them a Christmas card that Christmas, and then never again. And it was kind of like, well, the guy from like 2 years ago, would he really, I'm giving myself excuses. Does he want to hear from me? Is he really going to want to move yet? Am I bugging him? And again, that's like moving forward, like I said at the start, not being scared. So staying in touch with everyone. I think everyone wants to build a referral-based business. As much as all this marketing stuff is great and costs way too much money and time and everything, we do it to get the business so you can then build a referral system. My goal at the end of the day is to spend no money on marketing ever again, because it's too much money and time. I just want calls coming in. I'm not at that level yet, so I keep putting out as much as I can. But what you can do is pick up the phone and call. If you've been in a year, if you've just started, or 10 years, just picking up and having those conversations. So when I came here, the new managing broker was like, okay, first thing, if you called all your past clients, tell them you've changed brokerages. And I'm like, well, I've never called them. Like, well, what the hell are you talking about? That makes no, how long have you been a realtor for? So I called 10 years of clients in that first month. And some were like, oh my God, this is, what have you been up to? And some of them like, oh, hey, Jay, I was obviously still in their caller ID in their phone. I got, I think, 3 deals out of doing just that callback right then. 2 of them specifically, we went through numbers and then I saw the listings pop up with other agents. So again, there's another prime example of like, I dropped the ball. There's a million agents, everyone knows. Other guys got in front of me. I get it, that's the game. But it was very telling that just keeping in touch is important. And even if you're starting and you've got your sphere and you've got your potential, your A, B, and C list of people, touching base with them is key. And especially in these kind of, I don't want to say tumultuous times, but everyone that's affected by these rates, which is obviously the biggest issue right now, that people are having on both sides of the deal, is very kind of polarized by it. And you don't know where they get their news from. So going forward and being the source, and again, we do it a lot through video, but that doesn't stop me as well from calling direct, sending text direct to past people, staying in touch with people, especially when there's this, again, we'll call it turmoil in the market. You just want to make sure that you're always top of mind, anything to do with real estate, and just calling those people. And I actually have high hopes for 2023. We can get into that and why, but this year was dramatically different than last year. I think everyone can admit. And next year, no matter what happens, I just think everything is more emphasis on just stay in touch with the people that you know and you've dealt with and you may be dealing with in the future as much as humanly possible.
I love that.
That's great.
I said that yesterday. I was listening to a podcast, Jay, a marketing podcast, and the guy was like, imagine there is no other source or channels of marketing but your past clients. How would you treat them differently? What would you do? You would just pick up the phone or make videos for them only, which is insane that how often us realtors forget about the people who already trusted us and the people who already had a good experience with us, the people who are ready to send us business. And we're like, no, we don't want to talk to you. We want to talk to these strangers who don't know us. And probably think us realtors are sleazy people, and we want to convince them to trust us. It's strange.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Okay. So Adam, we have one last question, right?
Yeah, just a kind of a last bonus question for you, Jay. So, we all know a ton of realtors, but who's somebody in the business you admire and look up to? Can't be Sal and I, as much as I know you wanted to say that. And why is that?
There's a lot of realtors that we all see do deals that we would love to do and be in markets that we would love to be in. And there's a few that come to mind, but I think for me, it would have to be Tom Gratichuk. And I've lost listings to him. I've taken expired listings from him. He will probably not even know, he knows who I am, but he's not going to know on that. But I think for me, a lot of new agents that I talk to, I think a very important thing is to pick either a niche or a building or a neighborhood and just start there. If it's a building, for example, a lot of people focus on condos when they're new because they're smaller price points and they think it's easier. Pick a building and start mailing it, and just do it every 30 days and just start. And in 2 years, you've mailed them 24 times already. So they've already seen your face. If nothing comes from it, they've seen your face 24 times. Any open house you can do there, get there. So pick a niche and really do anything you can to keep that going among all the other things that are going to come across your table that you're obviously going to do anyway. But for him, a big push. I grew up in Dunbar. I really want to get in back there on a business sense. And he's got his obviously 10th Avenue office. His name is all over the place. He's a very dominant agent in the areas that I want to be. And he, I think, completely stands for, like, he has an area. He's gone as far as like putting an office there, building a team there. I've had to compete with him a number of times and bring buyers to his listings there. He's there, he's that neighborhood. And I think that's like the epitome of kind of picking that niche and really becoming your niche. So he's the guy, I would say. Hopefully he doesn't see this, but he's the guy, I would say.
That's flattering. It's flattering for him, I'm sure.
Great advice. Thank you so much. I don't have any more questions no? Okay. Jay, thank you so much for your time. It was, for me, honestly, personally, it was great to get to know you a little bit better. And hopefully we are going to put a few deals together in the coming year.
Always the goal, sir. I don't see you out there enough, so I hope to more, definitely. And thank you guys very much for your time on this. Much appreciated.
Thanks, Jay. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys. Bye-bye. Have a good day.